I looked across the fall 2026 runways and took out the obvious headlines: the red, the velvet, the animal print, and the fitted tailoring. We've covered those already. What's left is 7 quieter signals. They aren't objects, they're relationships. Where the collar stops, where the waist appears. What is still there when a layer comes off. How a shoe closes the line. Your wardrobe isn't suddenly wrong. The syntax changed. For each one, I'll show you the runway evidence, the mechanism, and the simplest way to wear it with clothes you already own. And one test runs through all 7. Can it make an outfit you already own feel more current without asking you to become someone else? If it can't, we leave it on the runway. The first quiet shift is that the outfit is no longer corrected to perfection. At Bottega Veneta, collars were half-tucked or almost concealed. At Niccolò Pasqualetti, white shirts, coats, and familiar Italian wardrobe pieces were twisted, folded, and recombined. Giorgio Armani used an asymmetrical shawl collar and a dropped-back hem. And across time, Givenchy and Céline, there was the same sense that the woman had adjusted the clothes herself and then carried on with her day. This is not sloppiness, it is controlled incompletion. The older version of polished dressing asked every line to agree. Both collar points visible, shirt evenly tucked, sleeves symmetrical. The newer version leaves one small question unanswered. That makes familiar clothes look less rehearsed and more alive. The word one matters. If the collar is askew, the trouser hem should be exact. If the shirt is partly released, the shoe and bag should be calm. Do not leave every part unresolved. The easiest version is already in your wardrobe. Wear a pale shirt under a fine knit and let only part of the collar show. Leave a little shirt hem visible beneath a jacket. Push the sleeves to reveal the cuff, or make a partial tuck that creates a clean vertical line rather than a bundle at the waist. If this kind of styling usually feels messy on you, begin in one color family: navy with ink, cream with stone, chocolate with tobacco. Monochrome makes the shape legible, so the unfinished detail reads as a decision. The test is simple. Remove the interruption. If the outfit becomes correct but forgettable, the idea is working. If the interruption makes you want to keep fixing yourself all day, it is not your trend. Leave it. The second signal is indoor dressing going public. Fendi showed the ease of fluid trousers and soft robe-like layers. Ferrari used shawl collar padded jackets, glossy moire suiting, and oversized outerwear. At Giorgio Armani, pale trousers, long unpadded jackets, and kimono collars moved without the rigid construction we normally associate with public tailoring. These are not literal pajamas. The shift is that the proportions of private clothes have been given enough structure to leave the house. Think of 3 ingredients: a fluid trouser, a jacket that wraps rather than grips, and a surface that moves: silk, satin, washed wool, or soft velvet. The runway may combine all 3. In real life, one is usually enough. The safest place to begin is the trouser. Use a relaxed, full-length pair with a proper waistband and a hem cut for the shoe. Add a defined knit, crisp shirt or short jacket. The movement stays below. The upper body gives it a boundary. The second route is a robe-like jacket over a simple column, fine knit and straight trouser, or a plain midi dress. It needs an outdoor fabric and a deliberate closure. A soft wool wrap jacket reads as outerwear. A flimsy printed robe with indoor piping still reads as a robe. Or use one satin or a moire piece with everything else matte. A lustrous trouser with a cashmere knit or a soft jacket with dark denim. The contrast makes it intentional in daylight. A sleek loafer, closed flat, low boot, or quiet trainer brings the line back to the street. A slipper shape works only when the hem, sole, and condition are precise. Use the 3-mirror test: front, side, and seated. Fluid means the cloth moves around the body, not that the waistband collapses or the fabric clings when you sit. The test is whether the outfit can go from home to a meeting, lunch, or gallery without a complete change. That is indoor dressing made public. The third signal is not simply more layering, it is layering designed as a system. Prada made the mechanism unusually clear. 15 women each returned to the runway 4 times. With every pass, layers were removed or rearranged, so the audience saw 4 stages of one wardrobe rather than 60 unrelated outfits. Tod's built capes over coats and balanced wrapped leather with leaner pieces underneath. Gabriela Hearst used separates that could be layered or worn alone, with removable collars changing a jacket. Time showed the same idea. The outfit was constructed but not trapped in one final state. That is the difference between a pile and a system. In a pile, the complete outfit works only when every piece is present. In a system, the coat can come off, then the jacket, and the woman is still dressed at every stage. Try this with an outer layer, a middle layer, and a base. Photograph all three. Remove the coat, then remove the middle layer. You need 3 finished versions, not 1 finished look and 2 accidents. For the base, choose something you would wear alone. A fine knit, proper shirt, knitted polo, or simple column. The middle layer can be shorter or more shaped because its job is to create proportion. The coat can carry the volume. Keep at least 2 pieces in the same color family. That repeated color holds the system together when the silhouette changes. Texture can change. The palette keeps the logic visible. Check the practical points. Can the sleeve move inside the coat? Does the collar lie flat? And does the jacket close without dragging the base upward? If every stage works, you need better relationships between layers, not more layers. Before we move to the 4th shift, if you want help deciding which of these ideas actually belongs in your wardrobe, we made the Fall 2026 wardrobe edit specifically for women over 50. It gives you 7 practical changes, 10 outfit formulas, and simple keep, update, or skip tests to use before you shop. I have linked it below. Now, the 4th shift is where the volume moves. Across Max Mara, Sport Max, Tod's, Stella McCartney, Balenciaga, and Celine, the shapes were not identical, but the distribution of volume was. The visual weight moved to the outermost layer. Max Mara used sweeping coats, cloaks, and broad kimono sleeves. Sport Max inflated collars and repeated an oversized lined parka. Tod's placed sculptural capes over leaner dresses and skirts. Stella McCartney, Balenciaga, and Celine carried the idea through enveloping outer shapes. This is more useful than the phrase bulky outerwear because bulky suggests that everything becomes bigger. That is not the mechanism. The outer shell expands, the inner line stays controlled. Imagine the outfit as 2 volumes, not 5. There is the outer shape and there is the column underneath it. The column does not have to be tight. It can be a fine knit with a straight trouser, a narrow midi skirt, or a simple dress. It only needs fewer interruptions than the coat. One color family lets the eye read a long inner line before it meets the larger outer shape. If you own an oversized coat, first change what lives underneath. Remove the large scarf, use the smaller bag, correct the trouser hem, and let one cuff show. Often the coat is simply competing with too many volumes. If you are petite, the answer is not always a smaller coat. Look for a clear shoulder or visible wrist, a center opening, and a hem that does not meet the widest point of an equally wide trouser. For softness through the middle, keep the inner pieces tonal and let the coat hang open. Test the silhouette at a distance or in a black and white photograph. Can you see one large outer shape and one quiet inner line? Good. If the coat, trouser, scarf, bag, and shoe all demand equal attention, edit one out. Fall 2026 is not asking every woman to become larger. It is asking the volume to know where it belongs. The 5th shift is sport, but not as a full sporty outfit. At Chanel and Stella McCartney, polished clothes were interrupted by the language of movement. A bomber proportion, a polo or zip neckline, an elasticated finish, a practical pocket, a stirrup line, or a shoe with an athletic memory. The important word is interruption. If the entire outfit becomes sporty, we are back in athleisure. The quieter version places one active detail inside an otherwise composed wardrobe. A zip neck knit under a wool coat is enough. So is a polo collar with a fluid trouser, a technical jacket over a fine knit and midi skirt, or a slim trainer beneath a tailored trouser. You are borrowing the function and energy of sportswear, not the costume. A small technical detail makes polished clothes feel ready to move. It gives familiar tailoring a less formal partner without reducing it to weekend wear. Keep the palette disciplined. Navy, charcoal, cream, olive, chocolate, or black allow the technical detail to register as texture and construction rather than as a loud logo. If the zip, stripe, or trainer already creates contrast, the rest can be quiet. Choose the detail according to your life. If you walk often, the shoe may be the update. If temperatures change, use a zip neck or lightweight shell. If colors are difficult, use a practical pocket, elasticated hem, or small drawstring. Test it by replacing the sporty piece with its conventional equivalent. If the outfit becomes stiffer and older, the interruption is useful. If you feel dressed for an activity you are not doing, choose a subtler one. 1 active code is current. 5 active codes are a uniform. The sixth signal is one of the most practical. Hardware is doing the work that tailoring used to do alone. At Todd's, soft blazers were drawn at the waist with slender leather cords finished with metal initials. Max Mara clothes brushed coats with leather straps and fastenings and added rivets to simple suede pieces. Hermes used adjustable zips to control narrow, fluid silhouettes. Giorgio Armani repeatedly returned to an off-red belt. Across Balmain, Lanvin, Givenchy, Ferragamo, and Celine, buttons, buckles, and visible closures punctuated otherwise familiar clothes. This is where the classic suit belongs in this video. Emporio Armani, Saint Laurent, and Giorgio Armani all confirmed that the suit remains. But the quieter update is not simply buying another suit. It is changing where the eye finds the boundary. A belt can give a cardigan, coat, or relaxed jacket a point of intention. Gold or horn buttons can give a soft knit the authority of a jacket. A visible zip draws a vertical line. A buckle can hold a wrap without tightening the entire body. The mechanism is punctuation. Fluid cloth keeps its ease. The hardware tells the eye where to stop. Begin with 1 point. Belt the coat, not the coat and the knit beneath it. Wear the gold button jacket without a large necklace, chain belt, and ornate bag. If the fastening is strong, let it be the jewelry. Definition does not have to emphasize the waist. If a waist belt feels too insistent, place the boundary at the cuff, collar, front, closure, or hip. Use the garment's intended fastening instead of forcing a wide belt around it. Check the quality. Buttons should sit flat. A buckle should not pull the fabric into radiating creases. A belt should stay in position when you sit. A decorative zip that catches is maintenance waiting to happen. Remove the hardware. If the outfit loses its line, the detail is doing the tailoring. If nothing changes, it was decoration, not structure. The final signal is at ground level. The flat shoe closes the line. At Bottega Veneta, almost all the footwear was flat, from soft leather jazz shoes to tasseled loafers and Mary Jane slippers. Max Mara used flat, square-toed boots. Todd's, Moschino, and Celine also returned to low, closed shapes that met the hem without fighting it. This is not a declaration that heels are over. It is a change in the job of the shoe. The shoe is no longer required to lift the whole outfit. It is there to complete the proportion. With a full-length trouser, choose a clean vamp and enough toe shape to remain visible beneath the hem. The trouser should nearly meet the shoe, not collapse on it. With a cropped straight trouser, a loafer, derby, or high vamp flat can fill the gap. With a midi skirt or dress, the front of the shoe matters more than heel height. A controlled point, almond toe, slim square, or high vamp gives the hem somewhere to land. A flat boot does the same in colder weather. Comfort has to be real. A flat can still be too narrow, too thin underfoot, or unstable at the back. Walk on a hard floor. If your toes grip, the heel slips, or you are planning to tolerate pain, it has failed. Before buying, test your shoes with the exact hems you wear. Polish the leather, repair a worn sole, and pin 1 trouser length. A cleaner hem-to-shoe relationship can update more outfits than a new shape. Use monochrome here too. A dark shoe continues a dark trouser, cream tan or soft metallic continues a lighter outfit. Contrast is allowed, but it should be the point. Cover the shoe in the mirror. If the silhouette changes when the shoe returns, choose it deliberately. It is closing the sentence. So, those are the 7 quiet signals. 1 element left slightly unfinished, indoor ease made public, layers that survive removal, volume placed on the outside, 1 sporty interruption, hardware creating the boundary, and a flat shoe completing the line. There is no compulsory color, must have code, correct gene, or demand that you replace your wardrobe. Monochrome ran through all 7 because it is the easiest way to test a new relationship. Close colors reveal whether the color, waist, volume, layer, or shoe is improving the outfit. Once the line works, add contrast if you want it. Choose 2 signals, not 7. Try them with clothes you own, photograph the result, and wear it for an hour. The best update becomes part of your language quickly. The wrong one keeps asking for attention. If you want the complete keep, update, or skip method, the Fall 2026 wardrobe edit is linked below. And if you want the next practical step, watch what to wear in September. I'll put it on the screen now. It gives you 10 formulas and 50 outfits to carry these ideas into real life. Your wardrobe is not out of date. It may only need a different sentence.